Hey everyone, this is Anwin, and it's been a really long time since I have done a video, and I know that I promised on social media that I would start doing these again, and it's been a few weeks since I posted about that, and I thought to myself, well, it's just time to just get these done, because if I don't start recording them, then they're never going to get recorded. So I thought, hey, you know what? I have a few minutes. I'm gonna run down to the creek and go ahead and record a video. I don't actually have a particular topic that I'm gonna be talking about. I just thought that, hey, I better start doing these because I really enjoyed doing the Water Witch Wednesdays, and I had a lot of fun, and just life happened, and then I got one video out last year, and life happened again, and so anyway, so here I am. I am officially recording these videos. So let's see. We could talk about a few things. First off, I'm sitting right by my creek. It's right in front of me. It's really low this time of year, so you probably can't hear it. But if you look up and around, I'm sitting under a hawthorn tree and a hazel tree, and then there's a little rhododendron in the back there. And both of those are really sacred, and they've had a lot of history and lore that connects them with druidry and the fae, and they're also, they're also a lot of times associated with sacred wells. And a lot of times you'll see some sacred wells, especially in the UK, where they may be surrounded by some sacred trees. And there's a wide variety of different sacred trees that are associated with the wells. But because I'm under the hazel and the hawthorn, I thought that I'd just mention them. So, so sacred wells, there are thousands and thousands of sacred wells, and they're all over the world. But in the UK alone, there is such a significant handful that it's really hard to ignore their magical significance. One of the largest temples that is still, erected in the UK is the Sulis's Temple at Bath, and it's basically a temple created for Sulis, this local deity, that is surrounding the hot springs, and she's directly connected to it. They call her the goddess of the gap. And I believe that that's because where the water springs forth from the earth is that gap. And also there's some different structures in her temple that kind of have a gap type look. She's also, Sulis is also a fire deity. Along with water, you get both the hot water and the spring, the sacred spring energy, but Sul, S-U-L, also is related to the sun, and so she brings in a lot of that solar aspect as well. And a lot of times the sun is not associated with females. It's more with like male deity or spirit, and like Apollo and Sol Invictus and Belenus and a few others. And so anyway, so the whole Bath temple that's dedicated to Sulis, that is just a huge temple complex, and it's something that we really just can't ignore. It's so big, it's so prevalent. Even during the Regency and Victorian era, it was revived and redone. The Romans thought that it was important. The Regency and Victorian era aristocrats thought that it was super important, and clearly the original people that were worshiping Sulis in this place were also, believed that this was very sacred. There's also other sacred wells that are really, really popular. The Chalice Well in Glastonbury is one of my favorites. And it's a very, very special place, and it's really special because there's actually two different, sorry, my camera's not very, I'm getting used to this, you guys. So there's two wells, and it's so interesting and significant because they literally flow like just feet from each other. You know, a road's length apart, no, a road's width apart, basically, and they come from different sources, and so this partly makes it a very significant excuse me. So partly this makes it a very significant place, and both of these wells have deep significance as well, and they're separate sources. One has high iron content, and the other one has the high calcium limestone deposits, and so you get this that duality of the red and the white through this. And you may see this in a lot of Western mystery or Avalonian lores, and just in Celtic and Druid practices as well. So, sacred wells, they're kind of my thing. Water in general is kind of my thing. As a child, growing up, you know, I spent a lot of times in the Florida Springs. I spent about 10 years of my childhood in Florida. And during that time, we spent significant amount of weekends at not sacred springs, but these different springs. Rainbow Springs and Blue Springs and the Sulphur Spring that I can't remember the name of. And there were many of these different places, and we went to them quite often. And we used to just spend so much time, and I remember just swimming around in this fresh water and really feeling at home. In fact, it was one of these places that I was swimming that I got kind of whisked in the current just a little bit and hit my foot on this rock, and it gave me a really strange scar on the top of my foot in the shape of a little triangle. And if you follow me on social media, or you know you've been around me for a little bit, you know I have a thing for threes, and I have the whole Triskel thing going on. I've got a big tattoo of a Triskel on my back, and my very first public craft name was Triskel Rose. And so you know, it's the Triskel, it's got deep esoteric meaning, lots and lots of symbology that's associated with it, and different groups use it for different things, but it also is a really good representation of water. First off, the Triskel, when done properly, can actually be kind of in a triangular shape. If you were to draw, you know, a little triangle on the outside, it would fit perfectly in there. Of course, we all know that the elemental symbol for water is an upside down hollowed triangle. And the cool thing about the Triskel itself is water exists in 3 states: liquid, solid, and gas. And so the Triskel really can represent each of those states of water as a whole, separate but whole. So anyways, just to maybe finish up here, you know, sacred wells, there's a lot around. There's a lot of sacred wells in the UK. In fact, there's quite a few in the United States as well, and I'm sure in Canada and Australia, and everywhere. I mean, if you really put your mind to it, you can find a sacred water place. Wells can also be fountains, anywhere where water springs forth from the ground. I also kind of have a little bit of a theory with founts, even if they're man-made, can still have magical properties. In fact, when I was in Salem just a few weeks ago, that was one of the first things I did, was go and grab some water from the fountain that's right there in the middle of Salem. So, you know, there's look for local well, look for a local fountain. or even just a sacred water spot within like your location, and get to know it and use it for some magic. Fountains can be beautiful. You know, in the United States, we don't have as many wells as there are in the UK, but even in Arizona, there's a very sacred and special well that is called Montezuma's Well, and it's right there in the middle of the desert, and it's this beautiful well spring that springs up from the ground, and the limestone filters it. And it was revered by the First Nations and by the people that live there now, and there's actually gatherings there, a variety of different types. There was like the 13 grandmothers gathering or something like that was there, and they have different shaman or First Nations that do ceremonies and stuff like that. So, well, anyways, I just wanted to really get a video started, and maybe instead of trying to plan topics, I will just ramble at you guys on this video. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The other thing before I go and before I completely wrap this up is, if you're not doing any magic currently to help the protest out in Dakota and the Dakota Access Pipeline, please be doing prayers, protection magic, water magic, healing. If you have the funds, please donate. There's a variety of different links and stuff out there that you can donate, and fundraisers that you can get money to the people. If you happen to be close by, maybe consider getting over there and joining the protest, because unfortunately our nation's water is under attack. It's mind-blowing and completely insane to me that we have CEOs like the CEO of Nestle who doesn't think that water is a human right. We're made up of water. We are like 70 to 80% of water. How is 70 or 80% of us not a human right? It makes absolutely no sense to me. There's a lot going on, so if you happen to be close to some of the issues or locations that are having issues, please get involved. Even if you can't get out there, do some spell work, and just do what you can. Petition the water spirits and your deities to help out, because we really have to get this under control. Otherwise, what's going to happen is our sacred water is going to be gone. It will be a rare thing, and we can't get to that point, because once the water's gone, you guys, it's only a matter of time. The planet can't survive. We can't survive. We can't grow food. None of it. So we really have to protect our waters. So anyways, like I said, please get involved if you're not doing it already. You don't have to be super public. Just get out there and just get out there. Get out there. Do the magic. Do the stuff. And you don't have to be public about it. You don't have to post about it. You can just do it, because it helps. It really helps. So anyways, wrapping up, because I just got a flash that my battery is low. Surprise, surprise. So, just wrapping it up, like I said, I don't know how these are going to go, you guys, but, I said that I was going to start doing them again, and here I am. So they may be topics, or I might just ramble about what's bothering me, or what I want the water witch community to be doing. And we'll see if I can get another one posted next week. So anyways, I hope that you're having a great day, and hey, leave a comment below. Let me know what I can ramble at you about in the future. Let me know what you want to see for the water magic community. Don't forget to do those spells and prayers. All right. Watery blessings. Bye-bye.